Very good morning, class. In the previous video, we have seen the two application of dimension analysis. The first one to check the correctness of the formula, and second, how we can establish the relation between the some quantities, how we can derive the formula with the help of dimension analysis. Today, we will do the third application of dimension analysis, in which we can convert one unit of system to the another system of units, right? So let's do it. To convert units of one system into units of other system. In this application, we have a small formula which is N1 U1 is equals to N2 U2. This is the formula for this application. And what is N1, N2 and U1, U2? Here N1 is the magnitude in the first unit, U1 is the first system of unit, N2 is the second unit, the magnitude of second unit, and U2 is the second system of unit. You will understand this application by a small example. Let's do it. Suppose we have, let's say, the value of G. Okay, example, the value of acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square, right? We all know the value of small g. We have to convert the value of g into kilometer per hour square, right? We have to find the value of g. G in kilometer per hour square. So you can see that this first we have unit in similarly meter per second square, and now we have to calculate the value of g in kilometer per hour square. That means we are changing the system of unit. Now how we can solve this? We have formula N1 U1 equals to N2 U2, right? Apply the formula. So we know that N1 U1 is equals to N2 U2. Now what is N1 and U1? Here it is the given value. N1 is the, as I said, magnitude. So here N1 is 9.8 and U1 is meter per second square, right? And N2, we have to find the magnitude in the other unit. So N2 is basically, we have to find the N2, and U2 is nothing but kilometer per hour square, right? So we can write it as N2 equals to N1 U1 upon U2, right? Now the important point comes. In the place of U1 and U2, we have to put the value of dimension formula for the given quantity. So basically here we have g. G is nothing but the acceleration due to gravity, and we know that what is the dimension formula for the acceleration, right? I'm drawing it. You can take screenshot. Okay, so we have N2 is equals to N1 U1 upon U2, right? Now what is the dimension formula of G? That is nothing but LT minus 2, right? So we know that the dimension formula for G is LT minus 2. Put it here. So N2 will be, what is the value of N1? Magnitude in the first unit, that was 9.8. So 9.8. Now U1 upon U2. So the length will be L1 in the first unit, and it will be L2 in second unit, right? U1 upon U2. What is the power of L here? It is 1, power is 1. Then T minus 2. So T1 upon T2, and what is the power? Power is minus 2. Alright. So this is our second step. Now what we have to do, write the units of L1, T1, L2, T2. We know that the U1 was in meter per second square and U2 was in kilometer per hour square, right? So in L1 and T1 we'll write meter and second, and in L2, T2 we'll write kilometer and hour. Okay, so it is 9.8. L1 it is meter, L2 it is kilometer, T1 second, and R is T2 is R. Now from here you can convert any of these quantity. Either you can convert the above the quantity from the numerator, that is meter and second, into kilometer and hour, or you can convert the kilometer and hour into meter and second. Right? What I'm saying, like suppose we have meter here and kilometer here, right? Understand this. We have meter here and kilometer here. Either we convert meter into kilometer, right? We know that how to convert meter into kilometer by dividing by 1000, or we will convert kilometer into meter by multiplying 1000, right? So either we convert the quantity on the numerator, or we convert the quantity on the denominator. So let's say I'm converting the quantity from the denominator. So this will become, this is 9.8 meter, and we know that when we convert kilometer into meter it will become 1000 meter here, second, and R is basically 60 into 60. In R we have 60 minutes, and in each 6 minute we have 60 seconds. Will be 60 into 60, power is minus 2, right? Yes, second also. So meter is cancelled by meter, and second is cancelled by second. What we left here, it is 9.8. It is 1 upon 1000, and you see that here power is minus 2. So if we exchange the value of numerator and denominator, the power will become plus 2. So this can be written as 60 into 60 upon 1. Now power will become plus 2, right? Now we are left with this simple calculation here. This will become 9.8 into 60 into 60. We have square, so 2 times more, 60 into 60. 60 into 60 and divided by 1000, right? So when we finally calculate this, we'll get 127,008 kilometer per hour square, right? So this is how we can convert the one unit of system into the another unit of system, right? So here we have seen the 3 application of dimension analysis. Now let's see what are the limitation of this method. The very first limitation of this method is when we obtain any formula, relation between any quantities, we can't obtain the value of constant involved in the formula. Like if you remember, when we have calculated the formula of T, that was 2 pi root L by G. This is the actual formula. But when we have calculated through the dimensional method, the formula we get was T equals to constant K L upon G. Because we don't have any method to find the value of constant through this method. This is, we can say, a very big limitation, right? By this method, the formula can be dimensionally correct, but the formula cannot be mathematically correct, because to formula will be correct mathematically only if 2 pi is the place of this constant. Similarly, when we calculate the formula of kinetic energy, which is half mv square, so by this method we can calculate k equals to constant k into mv square. We can't find the value of constant here. So this is the one limitation of this method. Second limitation, as you can see that we have dimensional we can say formula of MLT. If any quantity depends upon more than 3 quantities, we have 4 quantities, then we can't find the relation between those quantities, because we only have the 3 variables. We can't find the 4th unknown variable with the help of MLT, right? This is one limitation. Second, if any formula involved any trigonometrical function, right? For example, y equals to a sine omega t. This is the formula for the displacement of a particle performing simple harmonic motion, right? You will study later in the class 11th. So you can see that the displacement is in the formula of displacement, the trigonometrical term is involved, and in dimension analysis we don't have any method to find the relation in which the trigonometrical term is involved, right? We can't find the value of this displacement performing a simple harmonic motion. So these are 3 limitations of the dimension analysis, and that is why this method is not so, we can say, efficient. It is less efficient than the mathematical method, because in mathematical, if you prove any formula mathematically, then that formula will be correct dimensionally also, right? But if you prove any formula by dimensional method, then there will be chances that that formula will be mathematically wrong. Okay, so these are the limitations. Let's have a numerical example. Find the dimensions of the constants a and b in the relation p equals to b minus x square upon at, where given the p is actually power, x is distance, t is time. Actually, this numerical is totally depend based on the principle of homogeneity. What was the principle? Principle said that 2 quantity can be added or subtracted only if the dimensional formula of both the quantities are same. Otherwise, it is not possible to subtract or add 2 quantities, right? So here we can see that b is subtracted from x. It means x square. That means the dimensional formula for b and x square must be same. So the dimension formula for b and x square must be same. What is x here? X is distance. Formula will be L. Formula will be L. So the formula of dimensional b will be L square. We have to find dimensional formula for a also. No problem. Now, dimensional formula for power. Power is work upon time. The dimensional formula for work is ml square t minus 2. And if we divide work with time, we'll get power. So ml square t minus 2 divided by time. That means ml square t minus 3. So power will be ml square t minus 3 equals to this term. The dimension of numerator was L square, and AT, we have to find dimension of A, and T is time. Now it's simple, we can find the value of a here. So a will be L square upon m L square t minus 3 into t. So you can see that this L square has been cancelled. We are left with 1 upon m t minus 3 and t. So this will become t minus 2. So formula will be m minus 1 t minus 2. Dimension of A will be m minus 1 t plus 2. Okay. So this is how we can solve the numerical based on the principle of homogeneity. Let's have one more example. We have equation f equals to a under root x plus bt square, where f is force and x is displacement and t is time. We have to find the dimension of a upon b, right? Okay, solve it. Now, according to principle of homogeneity, these two quantities are they are adding each other. That means the dimension of this and this must be same, and individually the dimension of the force will be equal to this and this also, right? So dimension of force will be equals to dimension of A and dimension of root x. So dimension of force is nothing but m L t minus 2 dimension of A. Dimension of x is L, but it is root, so that means L to the power 1 by 2, or A equals to m L t minus 2 divided by L to the power 1 by 2. So when this come in numerator, it will subtract from the L. The dimension of A will become m L 1 by 2 t minus 2. Alright. Similarly, we can find the dimension of B also. I'm rubbing it. You can take a screenshot. And writing the dimension of A is here. Okay. So again, from the principle of homogeneity, dimension of F will be equals to dimension of B and dimension of t square. So this is nothing but m L t minus 2. This we have to calculate, and this will be t square, right? So this will go down and it will become t to the power minus 4. So dimension of B is m L t minus 4. Right. So now we have dimension of A and dimension of B, and we have to calculate dimension A upon B. Dimension of A upon B will be m L half t minus 2 divided by m L t minus 4. So m is being cancelled. This will come and become minus 2, and plus 2 will be L 1 by 2 and t square. So this is the answer. So this is how we can solve the numericals. I'll make a next video on the numerical portion. Please try some numerical by yourself also, so that if you have doubt, we can clear them. Thank you so much.